Then let the governance advisor know. We then move to item 3, which is the public forum, and we have no members of the public who wish to speak. So we then move to item 4, which is the adoption of the Treasury Risk Management Policy. And you have there before you 3 recommendations. Is there any discussion? No discussion. I'm happy to move that. We have a second by Councillor Bentley. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
The contrary, no. It's been carried. We now move to item 5, which is the adoption of the revised development and financial contributions policy of 2024. And we have it online. If we do, just to take note that we've got the updated transport facility development and also the new residential developments on the valley floor, those changes. So any questions? Welcome, Dwayne. Do we have a mover? Happy to move. We have Councillor Newell, seconded by Councillor Bentley. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
The contrary, no. It's been carried. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I saw your hand go up. We now move to item 6, which is the adoption of the schedule of fees and charges 2024. Changes there. So knowing that separately the dog fees. Yep. Just making sure that these fees are here, except the dog fees, they have been done separately. And Director Helen, do you have something?
I'll actually, I just wanted to make a correction with it. It's not for me. So look.
Please, Director.
Yeah, sorry, through you, Worship. There is a correction, and I just need to find the reference on page 101. Thank you. We just had an error. Sorry, this is in the planning fees. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, the updated agenda page. Sorry, 156. It's at line 349. There's just a minor correction. Yeah, it's literally minor. 349. This is about the deposit fee. So it should read deposit fee for insert minor land use infringements. That error is something that was identified during drafting. It just didn't make its way into the final version of the agenda. It's an important, it's a minor change, literally the word minor, but it has a significant impact on the review of these. We can charge in that space. Have answer any questions if there are any.
Any questions of the Director? No question. I'm happy to move. Seconded by Councillor Carson. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
The contrary, no. It's been carried. We now move to item 7, which is the adoption of the supporting information for the long-term plan. It's a very comprehensive document and a number of recommendations there, but just highlighting that this is the proposal to go out for consultation, and then we'll have that feedback from the community, and then we'll go through that consultation phase, the submission phase, and consult before we make our final decision. But under the Local Government Act, we're required to produce this and go out with this consultation document and what we plan to do and not do over the next 10 years. Any questions? In adopting the recommendations, Councillor Emma, welcome. In adopting the recommendations, that's 2A, B, C and D. I'm happy to move. We have a seconder. Councillor Bentley. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
The contrary, no. It's been carried. We then go to item 7, which is the item 8, which is the adoption of the long-term plan 2024 to 2020 34, is 10 years out. And adopting that. Do we have, just a minute, I'll just get. Yep, 468, we have recommendations there too, A through E, and making sure we need to develop, so this is a platform for our community engagement. Do we have any discussion, any comments? Councillor Carson.
Thank you. Just on the audit opinion with recommendation B, have we received the audit opinion because it was late coming, I believe? So is it on Stella or what?
Through you, Elizabeth, the audit opinion is included in the consultation document as is attached to the agenda.
Right at the end.
Page 496.
It's got a bit tired, but
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the auditors. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Any further comments?
We asked the auditors if they have any comments.
I will, yep. Any other comments here? No, so is there anything that you'd like to add or comment on?
Thank you. I can just run through the key items from our report.
Yes.
We have completed the work necessary to issue our opinion, and the basis for our opinion talks to the consultation document providing an effective basis for consultation and participation in the council's decision about the proposed contents of its 10-year long-term plan. And in our view that it fairly presents the matters proposed that are included, and identifies and explains the main issues and choices facing the council and the city and the consequences of those choices. We have also concluded in our opinion that the information and assumptions underlying that information in the consultation document are reasonable. So in addition to our audit opinion, which is then unmodified, our report does include 2 emphasis of matter paragraphs. The first emphasis of matter paragraph, and for those involved in the last round, they will look similar in terms of the headings. The first one deals with uncertainty over the level of 3 water renewal forecasts. So the objective of our including the emphasis of matter is to draw a reader's attention to where council has made disclosures about this issue in the consultation document already. And the reason for including the item is the uncertainty caused by following a largely age-based renewals profile for investing for your future forecasts, using an age-based profile, substantially using an age-based profile, and constraining that financially. You can have uncertainty over the future levels. They may be higher, or there may be unexpected asset failures or impacts to level of service. So we're just highlighting that disclosure. And the second one, again, drawing attention to council's disclosure in the consultation document about the uncertainty over being able to deliver a substantially increased capital program. With any capital program that is substantially increased, there's inherent risks of uncertainty around whether that will be able to be delivered, and those risks will play out in certain ways, either again through levels of service impacts or those projects costing more as they are moved further along. So again, council makes those disclosures in the consultation document, and our paragraph does draw a reader's attention to that if they wanted to look at that. The remainder of the report just really covers off the responsibilities of both council and the auditor and discusses our independence. But I'll leave it at that and see if there's any questions for us.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Is there any questions? No? No questions? So thank you, and thank you for the work that you've done. I know it's been a lot of hard work for everyone, but thank you very much. And have a good Easter.
Thank you, Mayor, and our appreciation for all the support. It has felt like a lot more of a condensed round, a lot more pressure all around. So it was really good to be able to meet our timelines in the end. So thanks for the cooperation to get there.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So we now work to the adoption of the long-term plan with the recommendations of prohibits. Do we have a mover? Have councillor Bentley, moved by and seconded by councillor Wheeler. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no. It's been carried. And we now move to the item 9, which is the apply for funding for the Pelorus Trust for movable grandstands. Happy to move. Do we have any discussion?
Question.
I'll move it. We have a second and then we can.
I'll second.
Yeah, okay. Councillor.
Questions?
Yeah, then questions. Yeah.
Yeah, just had a question. Firstly, why was council the one applying for the funding and not NZCIS themselves? What happens if we don't get the full funding or the request come to council to top it up? And on what arrangement would we provide these seats to NZCIS? Would it be free or for a higher-edge charge?
Through you, Worship, to answer those in order, is NZCIS as a business will have difficulty in accessing funding like that. So the benefits of the seating are for the wider community. The second part of that question was in and around if we get past part of the funding, we will probably not proceed, depending on what that was. And then the third part of it, we would enter into a management service agreement with the New Zealand Campus of Innovation and Sport around how those seats would be managed and serviced, etc. after that during the 5-year period where the service is covered, and then post that 5-year period.
Thank you. All right. Councillor Carson.
Worship, I was quite surprised to find there was no financial implications on this paper. And there are financial implications. For example, this is going to be a new asset owned by the council, and our new policy that we've adopted for consultation is to fund depreciation. So whatever depreciation rate that is the life going to be, there is an additional cost which will be fed back through our rate funding in the future. So I was quite a little bit concerned that there wasn't any financial implication paragraph. I have no opposition to the idea on principle, but I just wonder, in fact, it's maybe the right time to do it, and maybe we hold off for a wee while. So I'm not too bad about the actual timing of this particular paper.
Councillor Hammond.
Thank you, Your Worship. In here, it also said that there was no ability to hire seating. There is a company called BAS Grandstands in Tapuni Street, Tony's. We will do that. I think that may be able to be looked into more. I'm scared that we will go in competition with a private by doing something like this, but I am happy to go with the application, but I feel that we should be looking to see if we're not going in direct competition with another supplier.
Okay.
Just through you, Worship, the information I was provided was that, and certainly this company is based in Auckland, as so many others, and the costs of getting the seats down to Wellington, and they've just been doing the Sale GP down in Littleton with all of the seats in there. They've done Wanaka, Warbirds over Wanaka, etc. I wasn't informed or wasn't aware of any other, and I was informed that there was nothing similar down here in Wellington.
Okay. Any further comments or questions? Councillor Wheeler and Councillor Gill. Yeah, then Councillor Swales.
More of a question that we're going to be the owner of seats if we were granted the grant, and the storage will be down at NZCIS. Where does the practicality come when if we're wanting to use the seats ourselves and that's stored down there, and who gets preferential? Is there a preferential set up in that area?
Yeah, well,
Through you, Worship, that would all be done in a maintenance management agreement that we would enter into with New Zealand Campus of Innovation and Sport if we were successful in getting that funding for the seats.
it's quite a benefit. Yeah, Councillor Gill.
Yes, Your Worship, it's a comment, not a question.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yep.
Yeah. I just think that this is incredibly blinkered thinking in line with what we're about to go out to the public. And the chance of us getting 800,000 when we're putting in nothing to it, I just cannot see that this is the right time to be coming up with a project that to the public looks like 800,000. Yeah, I realise someone else is paying this, but I just cannot see the reality in this environment right now of going to a gaming trust and applying for something that is not in our plans. So I'll be voting against it.
Councillor Wills. Oh, Councillor Swales, sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. I am inclined to support Councillor Carson and Councillor Bentley in the sense that I have no issue for us going and applying for this money. My concern is that we do need to have the whole amount because there is no room in our consultation or in our, reserves anywhere that we can put our hand in our pocket. I understand what Councillor Newell has said, that it may not be the right time to do this. But actually, the gaming and funding machines, we've actually had a good track record with Pelorus when we started working on Maidstone Park, where they came up and gave a large contribution. I think that not to try would be not appropriate on our side. I think we need to put the funding in, the application in to see if we're successful. And if we're not, well then, what have we lost from trying? But I would like to see an economic layover of this, and is there any opportunity of us possibly deferring the decision of making this until we get one, so that we have a full understanding of what the implications of us owning these, if we get the money, and as an asset, how will we depreciate it? That's all I have to say, but I will be voting for it, but I would like it deferred if I get the support of my colleagues around the table.
Councillor Carson.
So I'd like to move a motion to defer consideration of this paper until other purchase opportunities are explored, for example, leasing the equipment or given the opportunity for NZCIS if it wishes to lease it, and look at that alternative rather than to actually ownership and applying for a grant. So I'm moving that we defer consideration of those of this paper under those circumstances.
I'll second that.
The only issue would be that the money might not be around if we defer. That's the issue. Councillor Bentley.
Just question to the finance director, or to the community services director first, probably. What's the lifetime of these assets? How long do they last before you need to kind of replace them?
Through you, which I'm not sure, but they're in and around 25, 30 years. Depends on how well they are maintained, how well they're maintained during their lifetime.
Councillor Swales. Oh, Councillor Wheeler and then Councillor Swales.
Just some clarification. If we don't get the $800,000, it's off the table.
Exactly.
So if you get 750,000 and it comes back and says we had to find another 50, it's still off the
We're
table.
not looking for any money.
Okay. Thank you.
Councillor Bentley.
Can I move it?
Oh, sorry. Councillor
Oh,
Swales.
sorry.
Sorry, Councillor Swales. Yeah.
Thank you very much. With regard to the amendment that Councillor Carson put on the table and was seconded by Councillor Newell, I think if we put a defined timeline on that, because I know that the pressure is still on the staff to actually do our consultation document, but surely there would be room in there, because I believe the next round of meetings are being postponed, but we could bring a paper to a meeting in the near future, and that way it's not deferred until an untold time. We're actually putting a time limit on it, and I was hoping that maybe one of my colleagues around the table would be able to support that and put a timeline there. Thank you.
You, Councillor Bentley.
I had a question. Can I put another recommendation, or do we have to vote on the other one first? I wanted to put another recommendation. that the council agrees to forego the application should we not receive the funding, forego the plans should we not receive the full funding.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, councillor Newell.
Oh, yes, I would disagree with that.
Okay, so the first we have before us, we do have a amendment that is to, the amendment is to defer the decision. Correct, councillor Carson?
That's right.
To defer the decision. Was there any suggestion time
Until,
until a financial, were you after a,
to bring back a paper as soon as possible to the next meeting,
well, it'll be,
a full meeting, council.
it'll be, what, 8 weeks? No, not longer because we're doing 3 hours, so it'll be 12 weeks.
8th of May.
8th of May.
Where we hold us special meeting.
For you, your worship. To seek clarity, this is about the capital. I believe councillors are asking for an better understanding of the operational costs that would be incurred and need to be incurred, because this paper hasn't been through finance, so there are no understanding of the operational costs that would need to be paid for if the application for 800,000. I'm just seeking clarity that is what is being sought.
Can I reply to that? Well, the clarity is not only the cost to the council, but it's also looking at alternatives to actually owning the equipment and alternatives about NZCIS leasing it. So if they were leasing the equipment and then I'm charging it, that's, as a company, that's an operational expenditure tax deductible and we're getting income from leasing it. So why are we doing it? So I don't understand why NZCIS are not putting up some funds, right? The other thing too is that if we did apply to Flores Trust, can we then give the stands to NZCIS? Okay, so there are a number of strategies we can adopt here.
Yeah.
One's straight out ownership, one's actually going leasing, and that's NZCIS's responsibility to do that and charge for it. And the third one is actually ownership and gifting it at the end. So we take it off our balance sheet.
Councillor Keary?
Yeah, kia ora, thank you. It's just another question in terms of like a detail that I don't know whether it's been missing or considered. Understanding that they're movable, is there still prep work that's required for the grounds? You know, like, so it's a lot of weight in terms of the seats and that. So where they're moved to around the fields, is there prep work or cost involved with that? And, you know, has that been considered? Is it even factored into their plans before we can get seats on site?
Through your wish, yes, there is, depending on where the site is that they might be being moved to, there would need to be assessments of ground and what needs to be put into the ground or put underneath the seats to ensure that they are safe and they pass the appropriate consents and engineering inspections.
Okay, so we'll go to the amendment first. The amendment is that this is deferred until other options are explored, which include financials. All right?
One more question.
Yeah.
Just around the timing of the funding round. When is the next funding round for Flores?
10th of April.
10th of April.
Yes.
And when would the next one be? So this is deferred.
They do it about every 6 weeks, I think, 4 weeks. Yes.
Okay.
So we have a mover for the amendment, councillor Carson, seconded by councillor Newell. No. All those in favour say aye.
I,
Contrary, no. No. Okay, it's been good. Okay. And
so
then,
your worship,
Yeah.
excuse me, your worship, just before you move on, I just want some clarity around what we've just voted for, because I really do appreciate what the CFO said, and I'm hoping that when what we've just voted for is broad enough for it to go through the CFO, that we actually have a total picture of, if we get the money, what are the ongoing charges and the implications, and that paper is brought back by the 8th of May.
yes.
Through your worship, thank you. The way I understand the request is there's an option around leasing, There's an option around ownership, and there's an option around ownership and gifting, and all of those include operational costs that have to be explored.
Your worship, thank you
Yep.
very much. That's made it really clear for me. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
and with that, can I say thank you and particularly thank the staff, because I know it's been really stressful. They've been working weekends and nights and way beyond the call of duty to produce so Jeff and all the staff involved, and at a difficult time. We know, things will change, so I want to say thank you very much for the work and led by Liesl. So thank you for that, and thanks to the councillors, because now there's some difficult decisions to be made, and it's listen to some tough calls. So again, thank you, and well done, and enjoy the Easter. With that, I close the meeting.